In today's world of fast fashion and brands selling overpriced synthetic fibers, it's becoming increasingly difficult to find high quality clothing pieces and at a reasonable price. That becomes especially difficult when you're shopping online and you can't actually feel the quality of the clothing. I'm somebody who buys a lot of clothing online because here on this YouTube channel, I do lots of clothing hauls. And so you could say that I'm quite experienced in this. So in this video, I'm diving into how I identify high quality clothing pieces when I'm shopping online that are actually worth the money. So the primary thing that I always look at is the composition of the garment, i.e. what is the fabric and what is it made out of? I only buy garments that are made out of 100% natural fabrics. So that would be cotton, linen, silks, wools, and so on and so forth. It's very common to see garments that are a wool blend. So they'll be 50% wool or 60% wool, but then there'll be 40 or 50% synthetic fabric. And that really brings down the quality of the clothing. The reason that garments made out of synthetic fibers are cheaper is because the synthetic fibers are cheaper to produce and they do not last as long. Anything organic will last you longer, it will look better, and it will feel better on your skin as well. And there are plenty of synthetic fibers, and brands can get very creative in how they label them. You'll often see regenerative whatever it is, and that tends to be synthetic. You'll see recycled materials, that is always synthetic, and so I stay away from those. But the most popular synthetic fibers are rayon, spandex, you're gonna see a lot of viscose, you're gonna see acrylics, anything like that is just not worth your money. Now, the only thing that you do need to watch out here with the natural fibers is that you could have a 100%, let's say, organic cotton shirt, but that shirt could be so paper thin that it's basically see-through. And so what I do is just a quick test, and you hold up that garment to the light and you see how much you can see through it. It's just a different way that companies are cutting their costs. Also, a very common place that companies will cut costs is in jeans. So take a look at your jeans. They should be 99 or 100% cotton. Oftentimes, you're going to see jeans that are a blend of cotton and spandex, and those are the jeans that are going to pill, they're not going to last as long, and they're not going to wear as well. The next thing I look at is the quality of the stitching and the quality of the hem. The stitching should be tight and tidy, and by that, I mean that the stitches themselves should be very close together and they should be in an even line. Generally, the shorter the stitch, so if you actually look at the length of the stitch, the shorter it is, the better. The longer the stitch, the more opportunity it has to get snagged on something or get caught, and that will cause eventual pulling, and that will not look good. If you see stitching that is loose, that is uneven, or definitely if you see flyaway threads, you know that that stitching is not very well done, and you probably want to avoid those garments because they're not going to last as long and they're just not as high of a construction. Now, when you're looking at the hems of your clothing, which is the part of your clothing where it ends, so at the waist of your shirt or at the sleeves, you should again be looking at the stitching. It should be tight, it should be clean, it should not be flyaway or loose. And if you ever see an unfinished hem, just stay away altogether, and that is where the fabric just ends and there is no stitching. It was not folded over, because that fabric will start to fray, and if they have cut corners there, they've absolutely cut corners elsewhere, and that is not worth your money. Oh, and if you ever see double stitching on a garment, which is just where there are two lines of stitching, and assuming the stitching is well done, that is a great sign, and it shows that the quality that has gone into that garment is higher than average. Naturally, if you double up on stitching, the garment will be more durable and it will last you longer. The zipper is also very important to inspect on clothing. You generally want to find metal zippers as opposed to plastic. You want the teeth of the zippers to be evenly spaced and close together, and you also want to make sure that the two ends of the zippers are very securely attached. So that is the top and bottom of your zipper that prevents the handle of the zipper from coming off. I'm sure we've all experienced that. It is so frustrating when your zipper comes off of the teeth and your garment no longer works as intended. You can always tell a good quality zipper based on a few things. So we're looking at metal material over plastic, the weight of the zipper, and how smoothly the zipper glides up and down when you are opening or closing it. It should not catch and it should not snag. Buttons are another dead giveaway of garment quality. The best buttons are made out of wood. They might be mother of pearl. They could be metal. So you just really, again, want to avoid plastic and lightweight buttons. Another thing that you want to check is how firmly attached your buttons are. So are they coming off very easily? Are they loose? If so, that's a sign of poor construction. You want them to be tight and to feel secure. Now, this is a big one, and that is how well does the garment fit you? Because a garment can be well constructed, but they could have poorly followed the pattern, or frankly, it could just be a weird shape and a weird cut that doesn't flatter you. So on shirts, what you're looking for is that the shoulder seams are actually aligned with the edges of your shoulders. They shouldn't be, halfway down your arm, and they shouldn't shouldn't be halfway up your shoulder because that would indicate too small and this would indicate too large. You also want the armpit of your shirt to not be noticeable when you're wearing it. You should be able to fit a couple of fingers in between your armpit and the shirt, and that will ensure that it fits well and it's comfortable for you to wear. As far as buttons go on a shirt, you want them to be sitting flat against your chest. If they are pulling when you are moving or it's uncomfortably tight, it is a very dead giveaway that your shirt does not fit you, it's too tight. For pants, the most important thing when it comes to comfort and good fit is your waistband. It should be tight but not snug, so you should be able to fit 2 fingers easily into the waistband of your pant, and that means that you have a good fit. As far as when you're wearing the pants, so when you stand up, they should drape nicely on your legs. They should not have tension pulls or, tightness when you're moving. That indicates your pants are too small. And then conversely, if you have bunching around your bum, excess fabric around your bum, or bunching around your ankles, that's a dead giveaway that your pants are too big. And so you want that happy medium where things sit properly, they're comfortable, and they're not pulling anywhere. The last thing I always check is the return policy of these brands online. Any good quality and reputable brand will have a pretty decent return policy, usually 30 days, sometimes 15, depending on which brand specifically. And I always check the return policy on sale items. I always buy very high quality clothing, but I do like to buy it on sale so that I cut back on that cost. So it's important that I'm able to return clothing if they don't live up to my expectations and the standards that I have. On the same topic, I always like to remind people that you can buy a sale item that is a size too big, and you can bring that piece of clothing in to get altered, and you're still overall going to be saving money. I do this quite frequently, and I actually love this because generally speaking, an altered piece of clothing fits me better than just the standard off-the-shelf sizing. If you follow all of these tips as you shop going forward, then I know that in no time you will have a high quality wardrobe that will last you a long time and that you will love. I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you did, please give this video a like. It really helps out my channel and gives me some great positive feedback. As always, you guys are so appreciated, and I'm gonna catch you cuties next time. Bye.